Francie. I'm Francie Dress Vintage. I buy and sell vintage clothes and fix them up sometimes. Sometimes I alter them to make them a bit more modern. But yeah, vintage clothes and accessories. Yeah, I'm on Facebook and I'm also on Etsy. I have an Etsy shop. You can also find me at hopefully some other markets, and also I'm in a vintage bazaar in Echuca at the moment.
Drawing, then went on the printmaking and etching presses, and started getting interested in metal sculpture, and got on stainless steel cutlery, and made all sorts of things out of that, which has been a big interest in that sort of work. I do a bit of woodwork, different kinds of wood, belar, mallee root and red gum, and I'm now getting into furniture being made from old wagon parts and pre-car days, hand-forged steel, incorporating it with wood, so that these old parts won't get melted down, they'll live on forever. Yeah, it started a long time ago when I had to build a chook house, and was to go to Melbourne, but you're not allowed to have roosters, so I built a sculpture rooster, and I found cutlery was good stuff from stainless steel, stays out in the weather, and I got myself a TIG welder, and it went from there. And there's been a terrific amount of interest in it, because each one is my own design and they're quite unique, and every one turns out different. Every time you make one, you look at it, it's got a different expression on its face.
The really obvious one is the longevity. Hand-painted signs can last up to 20 years in full weather. With a digital print, you'd be lucky to have 3 or 4. Also, hand-painted signs tend to show a bit of the personality of the people who made them, whereas digitally printed signs that are all sort of designed in the same computer program can tend to look a bit the same as one another. It really depends on the sign. If it's a small sign and there's a lot of text, a hand-painted sign is likely to be quite expensive, because they're usually charged on how many hours it takes to produce them. But if it's a larger sign or something with not so much text, it's possibly quite competitive in price, because the number of hours compared to the number of square metres of a digitally printed sign might work out quite well in the favour of a painted sign. Especially when you consider that a painted sign might last 3 or 4 times as long as a print. Even if it's 3 or 4 times the cost, it's kind of the same value per year. I do. It's gregchandlersigns.com.au, or it seems to come up pretty well in Google as well. So if people just Google Echuca Signwriter or Deniliquin Signwriter, Mathara Signs, I usually come up near the top of the results. I also have a Facebook page, which is easy to find in the same way.
Can you hear the drums, Fernando? I remember long ago another starry night like this. On the firelight, Fernando, you were humming to yourself and softly strumming your guitar. I could hear the distant drums, the sound of bugle calls were coming from afar. had to die. And I'm not afraid to say the roar of guns and cannons almost made me cry. There was something in the air that night, the stars so bright, Fernando. They were shining there for you and me, for liberty, Fernando. Though we never thought that we could lose, there's no regret. If I had to do the same again, I would, my friend Fernando. Now road and grey, Fernando. And since many years I haven't seen a rifle in your hand. Do you hear the drums, Fernando? Do you still recall that fateful night we crossed the Rio Grande? I can see it in your eyes, how proud you were to fight for freedom in this land.